we are with people in just a second. Dun.
It says your
It's
webinar is
loading
now
now.
streaming live.
Awesome. Continue. I think we're good. I'm just going to open this up.
Awesome.
And mute that. Yes. Happy days. We're actually live, and Ray's here and Joe's here, which is awesome. So, Ray and Joe, since you're here, can you just say hello so you can hear me okay? Yes. Joe can hear us. Ray can probably hear us. Normally can hear us when he's here. Awesome. Jason's here. Cool. Kelly's here. Yes. Happy days. We've got people turning up, which is all good. And they can all hear us.
People here.
Awesome.
Super excited.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely awesome. I mean, you guys are in for an absolute treat today. I'm going to let Iggy quickly reintroduce himself. I know you guys have met him before. We chatted about 3-4 months ago now, I think it was, about a similar sort of thing. But now you've managed to put something together, put this kind of training together, and obviously share with everyone here how you've been getting these awesome results for your clients, but also for your business, and pulling in sort of like, was it $3,200 sales for 16-week programs, I think it was. Which is awesome.
Our packages range anywhere between $2,500 and $3,500 for one-on-one coaching. And if somebody's going to do it themselves and just have access to the program, it's $1,500 or $1,200 if they pay it all up front.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really cool. I mean, I know a lot of people. I've had a lot of messages, and I'm sure you have as well, about people asking about how you've been doing this, and how you can, even especially the automated stuff, the do-it-yourself stuff, that for like $1,500 is a lot more than what people are, getting for their packages at the moment. So it'd be cool to hear like the process and stuff you go through. What I'm going to do, if that's cool, Iggy, is let you kind of introduce yourself, go through it in a bit more detail, and kind of hand it over to you and let you go ahead of it all. Then I'll be here if you need me. So
okay,
over to you, mate.
Great. All right, guys. So as you know, my name's Iggy, and I'm just going to be sharing my screen with you and just kind of taking you through this presentation. And as I'm going through it, I'm going to just helping you guys know a little bit about myself. I started my journey to taking my business online a few years ago, and it's been one crazy ride just going through this process and learning digital marketing and how to build systems and how to automate things and all these different things has been absolutely incredible. So I want to just share my screen and just take you guys through this training just so that we're all on the same page here. I put together this presentation. And essentially what I'm just going to be walking you guys through and showing you guys how to do is I'm going to be showing you how to build an automated system for getting high-paying clients with PT distinction, even if you don't have any tech skills or have a big following. Now, this is crucial because PT distinction has changed my life, right? The software has changed my business. It houses everything that I do for my business, which is absolutely ridiculous that you can do that with one software. So when you stay to the end, I'm just going to give you guys an opportunity to just copy everything I'm doing right now. And you're going to get a proven system to just kind of connect the dots. And this is going to be a special offer for those of you guys that are here. And it's going to be different than what you've seen or heard from anybody, right? The online industry is really broken in the sense that a majority of coaches are just jacks of all trades and really masters of none, meaning that they don't have a clear message and they don't have really any sense of direction of what their true offer is. And then a lot of people suffer from what I like to call squirrel syndrome, where there's no focus and a majority of coaches get easily distracted. Now, for those of you guys that never seen that movie Up, it's one of 5 movies that has ever made me cry in my entire life. In fact, that movie had me tearing up within the first like the first 10 minutes of the movie. But there's this part in the movie where this dog has this device attached to his chest that says his thoughts out loud. And every time it's on the road, it sees a squirrel, it runs off the road and it comes back to the road. It makes a little progress down the road, runs off the road when it sees a squirrel, And so that's why I call it squirrel syndrome, where you're just like running distracted and you're all over the place and you're just never able to really focus long enough to make any kind of progress.
That's
And
cool.
the
I've never
other
heard that
thing,
before. That's ace.
yeah. And the other thing is that most people become coaches or consultants for freedom and impact, but most coaches and consultants are more trapped in their business than they were doing their 9 to 5. And honestly, to add insult to injury, the people that are winning aren't even good at delivering on the service they're so good at selling. It used to drive me nuts. Like, man, like there's some people that were doing so well, making a lot of money with like their online fitness programs, and they don't really have any genuine knowledge on how to actually help people. And I used to get so frustrated, like how is this person doing so good? They don't know anything, right? Which is not good. You don't want to compare or judge anybody, but I'm like, man, they haven't even put time into really knowing their craft. They're just out there being the loudest in the marketplace. So that's just to add an insult to injury. And I know for those of you guys that have put in the time into really, developing your craft, into understanding how to help people, and you've put time into getting the experience and really helping people, this is going to be a breath of fresh air for you, because I know exactly how it feels. And so I want to do a super brief intro. For me, I became a certified personal trainer in 2012. And by 2017, I was doing 100 personal training sessions per week. 100 personal training sessions per week. I lived, I slept, I ate in the gym. I did not have a life outside of the gym. And these were clients paying anywhere between $75 to $95 per session, right? So by December, I gave up my lucrative personal training practice after attending a workshop and seeing somebody share about how much money they were making coaching and training people online. And I looked at the guy and I'm like, you don't even look like you're into fitness. Like, how is this even possible? I was so angry. I was like, man, I'm here working my ass off. I'm here sweating like crazy. And this dude is sitting at home making 3 to 5 times the amount I'm making, and he doesn't even look like he works out. And I was like, how is this even possible? Right. And so after spending 87,000 learning digital marketing, I started to understand, and my eyes started to get open, and I started to understand, okay, how can I sell, and how can I put my message in front of the people that I want to have an impact on? And then finally, from 2018, August 2018 to October 2019, I generated over $250,000 with one online program, just one program, doing this and learning it and actually being able to implement and developing my own strategy. So I'm going to just give you guys a quick earnings disclaimer. I'm going to walk you guys through my exact method that I use to get results. And I'm also going to give you examples of people that I've been able to help to do this as well. And then your results are going to vary, right? And I'm also going to give you guys an Iggy disclaimer. I am blunt and direct, so don't take what I say the wrong way. I hate beating around the bush, and I really don't try to be politically correct to accommodate for people's feelings. So you're just going to have to buckle up, get your hard hat on, and grow spine, because I'm not going to try and be politically correct. I hate when people give all kinds of fluff. I like to cut straight to the goods and just give you guys exactly what you came here for. All right. So after spending 87,000, I discovered the hard way, but you're going to get the cheat and get the simple way. This is going to be absolutely ridiculous. The fact that you're going to profit from what I've spent my hard-earned money to learn. And this is just the truth from last week's sales volume. Now, again, I don't like to get into any of this stuff, so I'm just going to go through it real quick. Now we're going to dive into what I want to share with you guys today, right? What I learned is these are the 3 secrets that I'm implemented to build my entire system inside of PT Distinction. So secret number 1, we're going to be covering the basics on how to create your own niche and become the go-to specialist for your market. And this is super important because everything else that you do comes from number 1. Number 2, we're going to learn how to build a unique methodology for getting client results that will separate you from the competition. And then number 3, we're going to learn how to utilize systems and automations to turn your unique methodology into an automated lead magnet. Now, nobody really teaches you how to do this because it's a lot of work to develop your own method and then it's a lot of work to actually build systems around it. It's easier for you to just be a mindless zombie and be like, hey, just do this because I told you to do it. It's harder to actually teach you the principles that you need to be able to craft your own message and be able to have your own piece of the marketplace. And this is what we're going to learn how to do. All right. So secret number one, how to create your own niche and become a go-to specialist for your market. Most people think, and this is what I thought, you either, especially in the fitness industry, you either need to have a massive following or you need to be a fitness model, right? Now, the only issue with that is that trying to build a massive following takes a ton of time, and it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of effort, right? But has very little return on any of that time and any of that energy. Trying to be a fitness model is the same exact thing, right? And the issue with doing these things is you're focusing on what's superficial and you're focusing on what's outward. So by pursuing these paths, you're actually separating yourself further and further away from your ideal clients, and they're now putting you on some type of pedestal. And now they're thinking, oh, I can't work with this person because I don't look like that, or this person can't help me because they've never understood who I am. So now you're being superficial, and now it's going to make it even harder for people to connect with you and even want to work with you, because now you've put yourself on this pedestal where they don't even see you as human. They don't even see you as somebody they can work with. So a lot of people that have big followings and a lot of people that are fitness models aren't really making any kind of money in the industry. All right. So the solution is you got to create your own niche that will allow you to become a specialist that people seek for a specific result, right? This will allow you to become a bigger fish in a little pond. And I'm going to walk you guys through the requirements for this, right? There's 2 requirements for a fitness niche. And I don't care what anybody says, if you're starting out and you want to do high ticket, there's 2 requirements for a niche. 1, it needs to have fat people. Okay. It just has to. I'm sorry if you're offended by it. I'm sorry if you're like, oh my gosh, you're being judgmental. Get over it. It's just a fact. It needs to have fat people. And number 2, they need to have money, right? If you want to do a high ticket, if you want to do high volume, if you want to do high sales, these are the 2 requirements for a niche. So don't go out here saying I'm only going to work with busy moms. Most busy moms don't really have that kind of money, right? So you need to have a niche that meets these 2 requirements. And once you have that, now you have recipe for success. Whereas most coaches will try to tell you, you got to get super, 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 super niche down. You only work with this demographic of people. No, you don't. You work with people who are fat and have money. Don't overthink it. Okay. So
awesome.
Being a generalist versus being a specialist, right? A generalist works a hell of a lot more and makes a hell of a lot less, right? When you generalize everything that you do, you're appealing to everybody and nobody at the same time. So you got to work extra hard. You got to you got to find your voice in the marketplace, and you got to just spend so much more time and effort to get your message out there just to even reach anybody. Versus somebody that's a specialist. A specialist works a hell of a lot less and makes a hell of a lot more, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. But here's what I've analyzed from actually studying these 2 things. So here's the benefits of being a specialist. There's a greater perceived value for your time, therefore it will not be wasted. When people see you as a specialist, they value your time so much more, and they're not going to waste it, right? And then you are seen as an expert and authority, therefore you can charge more for your solution. This is super important. When you specialize in something that people need, right? And the thing that you specialize needs to appeal, they need to have the 2 requirements. You need to have people that are fat and you need to have people that have money, right? And then the third benefit of this is that the quality of prospects seeking you out are warmer because they recognize you as the only solution to their problem. And this has been the biggest game changer. And this single shift of just going from being a generalist to being a specialist, this single shift tripled the price of my coaching packages. I've seen some of you guys saying, oh, I'm going to charge $59 for a 12-week program. I've been there, charging $27 for coaching, charging $247 for 12-week program and different things like that. This single shift has more than tripled the prices of my coaching packages. It's actually increased our sales volume. We're making way more sales than we ever did doing little $50, $80, $150 packages. And it's more than doubled our profit per client. Imagine if we're running paid traffic and you need to spend a minimum of like $150 to get somebody on the phone, and you're selling your packages for 59 bucks, you're $100 in the hole just to get somebody on the phone. It's absolutely ridiculous. So having our packages structured this way allows us to market, allows me to pay my team, allows me to hire and do a lot of different things to offer a much higher service. And this single shift completely changed everything, right? So I don't want you to just take my word for it. We're just going to go through some people that have actually helped build a similar process. But now we're going to dive into your challenge. So your challenge is stop being a generalist and pick one thing that you're going to specialize in, right? Are you going to help people improve their metabolism? Are you going to help people improve their thyroid? What is it that you're going to specialize in? Are you going to help people that are diabetic, right? You want to find a niche and find something that you can specialize in that has that meets those two requirements, right? And when you're able to do that, you're starting to dive deeper into a marketplace of people that are desperate for your solution and people that are going to recognize you as the authority if you've put in the time it takes to be able to actually serve these people, right? If you're a generalist and you haven't put in the time to really be able to serve people, then this isn't really for you, right? And so far, we've just discussed secret number one, how to create your own niche and become the go-to specialist for your market. And we also discussed how becoming a specialist and being able to increase the value of our coaching program by doing so. So now we're going to dive into the next thing. Secret number two, how to build a unique methodology for getting client results that will separate you from the competition. All right. Most coaches are going to teach this, and I've experienced this and I've done this. They're going to teach you gotta message as many people as you possibly can, reach out, like you got to put out a ton of volume messages, go into Facebook groups and posts and all these different things. And then they're also going to teach you, you want to get on as many calls as possible, right? So I've done this. I've seen a little result doing this, but the main thing that I experienced doing this was extreme frustration. Why? Because the problem with this is you can't communicate something that you don't understand. If you haven't really taken time to really understand how it is that you're going to serve people, how are you going to message people and try and get them interested? Like you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know how you're going to help them. And then when you make the sale, now how are you going to serve somebody with something that you don't have, right? And you can't sell something that you don't have. You're trying to sell people this idea. Okay, this is what I do, but you need to take time to actually flesh out your unique methodology. You need to take time to understand how are you going to get people results. Once you do that, it makes it so much easier to sell. And this shift has completely eliminated all the headache that I used to experience trying to get my message out there. So the solution is we got to build a unique methodology for getting clients results, right? This is going to allow you to become the only solution to your prospects. When people hear, wow, that's different. Never heard that before. That's a different approach. That can't think of anywhere else to find it, therefore making you the only solution. Right. So this is an example of my own methodology that we developed for our program. And this is just one of our highest volume program that we have. So I just want to share this with you so you can see. So once you have it, I show this to prospects. I walk people through this when we're on the phone, when I get on the phone with them. And this is what we sell for $3,200 to $3,500, right?
Cool.
And then also having a unique methodology like that makes it so much easier to scale as far as bringing on coaches to coach people through this process, things like that. So what is a unique methodology? Is your process that you use to get people transformations for a client. That's all it is. It's your step-by-step roadmap for getting clients from point A to point B. And when it's done right, it's just going to create a compelling reason for people to actually engage with you, right? Not a lot of people actually show you how to flesh this out because it's time consuming. You have to sit down and really think about it. But like Abe Lincoln said, you know, give me 5 hours to cut down a tree, and I'm going to spend 4 of it sharpening the axe. And this is what you're doing. It's going to save you so much more time in the long run. So many people want to just get out there and start making sales, and they never take time to actually develop what it is that they want to sell people and how it is that they want to serve people. Mm-hmm. All right, so this is going to be how your market identifies you. So with a unique method comes a unique message, right? The goal is to build a legitimate brand, right? If you just want to build like a fly-by-night, a flash in the pan program that's not going to be sustainable whatsoever, you just want to make a ton of money and then dip, like, then good riddance. You don't deserve to be in this niche. You don't deserve to be in this field, right? So with a unique message, you can create brand recognition and trust. This also increases the perceived value of your business, thus increasing the perceived value of your service, right? When you have something unique and you have a unique approach and you share that with people, they're like, wow, that's different. And then they go to check you out, you have a unique message, you're like, wow, this is a legit brand. Now they're recognizing you, and now they're starting to build a trust. And we're going to dive into why that's going to be important. So the question we want to ask is, so what if you could have a steady supply of people who need your program or coaching, who are looking for the solution you have to offer, and who can actually afford to get started, right? Your business will completely take off. And this is what I've experienced. If you're actually able to do this, this may seem like a pipe dream, but it's really not if you put the time to actually build out the methodology and actually understand what it is that you want to offer people. So with a unique methodology comes a unique way to attracting ideal clients. And this is going to be really, really powerful, right? So far we discussed, okay, how to create your own niche and become a specialist for your market. And then next thing we discussed how to build a unique methodology for getting clients results. And we also discussed, okay, how having this unique methodology will make it easy for your ideal clients to identify you as a solution. So now we're going to get into some of the good stuff. Now it's important that we set up the first 2, because if you don't have the first 2 in place, this third secret is going to be a complete waste of your time. All right, so now we're going to learn how to utilize systems and automation to turn your methodology into an automated lead magnet. This, hands down, is going to blow your socks off. And once you put this in place, your life is going to be changed forever, because now you have a process to take people through your methodology. And now you have a process to really convince prospects that you're the only solution, right? So most people think they need to do all the heavy lifting. If you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. Well, the problem with that is, it's too much work. So if you're naturally lazy like I am, you're not trying to do everything yourself, right? It's way too time consuming, and it creates a bottleneck in your business that it's gonna be very, very hard to overcome down the line, right? So what we need to do, because this is going to be your destiny if you do it that way, where you're trying to do everything yourself, do all the manually messaging and answering all people's questions and getting on the phone with prospects and all these different things, like, you're just going to create yourself a headache. So the solution to this is, what if you had a system that, 1, generated leads on autopilot, 2, nurtured those leads on autopilot, and 3, when it came time to it, it delivered the fulfillment on autopilot, right? This is where PT Distinction is really going to come in. You would have developed the key to your income freedom and time freedom, correct? Because now you have a system that's doing all the heavy lifting for you. You put in the work to build it once, and now you just let that baby run till the end of time. It runs in your sleep. It runs when you're on vacation. It runs when you're sick. It's the most beautiful thing ever. This is the true key to freedom, is leveraging systems and automation. And most people are going to teach you the true key to freedom is having a high ticket business and making a lot of money. That's not it. I've seen people that are making 7 figures, they're working themselves to their grave because they don't have any system. Their process is disorganized. It's frustrating, and they're trying to manage everything by themselves, and it's just absolutely a nightmare. I'm like, I never want to do that. So you need to start with the end in mind. If you want time freedom and you want income freedom, then you need systems that are going to work for you on autopilot, so that all you have to do is manage those systems remotely, and then you can build an entire team around the systems and get clients that are system dependent and not individual coach dependent. That's the most important thing. All right. So how's this going to transform your business? One, leads equal opportunity, right? Nurturing equals relationship, and fulfillment equals trust, right? When you are able to generate leads, you're creating opportunity for your business. But when you're able to nurture those leads, you're building a relationship with them, you're connecting with them, they're getting to know who you are, they're getting to understand your brand. And then when you can fulfill on that promise, and when you can fulfill on the service or whatever the lead magnet was, now you build trust and like, wow, okay, this person is legit, right? So what do you think opportunity plus relationship plus trust is going to equal in your business? Do we have any guess? Sales.
I can imagine.
Obviously, it means cash in the bank. That's what it means. So if you're able to do this ethically, now people are going to be happy to give you their hard-earned money because they trust you, right? You built a relationship with them. Now, when I get on the phone with prospects, it's a complete night and day conversation that I have with them. And I'm a terrible salesperson. Like, you can listen to my sales calls and they're not great. But people that I get on the phone with, it's like I'm talking to a friend because they've been through my entire process and they're like, wow, I'm looking forward to this call. Our no-show rate is way down. The only reason why we don't get calls with people is we cancel our appointments because people aren't qualified. They just don't meet our financial requirements that we have. That's the only reason. So this is what I call the ultimate client acquisition system, AKA the UCA system, right? Once you have all these things in place, now you have a system that's going to help you acquire new clients, and it's going to do all the heavy lifting for you. So all you have to do is focus on marketing and closing the deals. And then you have the system that does the fulfillment for you as well. All right. So nice. The UCA system equals sales for your business. This is an example of my UCA system, right? My 7-day Fat Blasting course or program. This thing is absolutely my bread and butter. And you're going to be learning how to build your own. I'm going to be teaching guys what goes into it, right? So they follow the same principles that I've been sharing with you. It solves a specific problem. It's niched down, right? It has a unique methodology that I teach people in it. And as people go through it, it's the fulfillment's done on autopilot, and they're getting the results that they're seeking me out to get before they get on the phone with me. All right. So this is an overview of my UCA system. So once you have it built out, step one, this is just kind of like the bird's eye view. You kind of build this in reverse. So step one as people come through, we have the traffic. 2, we have our Optin Page. 3, we have our pre-framing. 4, we have our nurturing. 5, we have our fulfillment. 6, we have our breakthrough sessions. And 7, we have our sales. And even the sales is the most important process I'm going to walk you guys through. So step one is the traffic. There are 2 different traffic sources. We know there's organic and there's paid traffic, right? What you need to do is you need to know where your ideal people are hanging out, right? And where do you have like the best engagement? What platform, right? Now we have Facebook. I don't know if this is looking clear, but Facebook is the most popular. Instagram is the fastest growing. This looks a little blurry, but it's all good. Pinterest is the most evergreen. So if you can rank on Pinterest pretty high, it's going to rank for a very, very long time. LinkedIn is the business professionals. So I work with a lot of busy professionals. So I get a good amount of traffic from LinkedIn because I have an offer that appeals to them, right? Mm-hmm. And also LinkedIn, they make the most money. The users make the most money out of any other social media platform. Then you have YouTube, you have Twitter, which I haven't begun to dive into, but you want to kind of identify, okay, where are these people going to be? Starting out, I recommend people to leverage either Facebook or Instagram, but if you have a good following on any of these other platforms, then you want to leverage them, right? So step 2, the Optin page. This is my Optin page for my 7-day Fat Bicep course. So you can see here, it's simple. I have a little countdown timer. They have a little video for them to watch. I can let them know exactly what they're getting. And as you can see here, this Optin page has a 96% opt-in since the beginning of the year, right?
Nice.
And we're collecting the first, last name, phone number, and email. And most people will tell you, hey, that's way too much information that you're collecting right there. That's a ton of BS, because I know the people that I'm attracting want what I have to offer here, and they're happily giving me all the information so that we can follow up with them later. All right. So now step 3, pre-framing. Pre-framing, you are pretty much getting people into an environment that you control, right? You want to get them into the mindset where they're ready to buy. So the first key to pre-framing is you got to make your prospects problem aware and widen the gap in a painful way, right? When people come into my 7-day Fat Bicep program, before they even get into any of the things that they can take action on, the first 5 days is pre-framing. We're sending them emails talking about, their problem, why they haven't been able to lose weight, the consequences of not getting ahead of their weight loss and different things like that. We're making them problem aware, and we're doing it in a painful fashion. I want people to feel the pain, because why? They're going to seek us out to escape it, right? So a lot of people want to downplay the seriousness of their situation to make themselves feel better. As their coach, it's your responsibility to help them see the error of their ways, and to help them see the consequences, and to help them feel what those consequences are going to be like. So that's a part of that pre-framing, right? So key number 2 to pre-framing is you got to position your unique methodology as an obvious solution, right? So you outline their pain, you outline their struggles, you outline the consequences. This is what you're going to be missing out on. This is what's going to happen if you don't get ahead of it. But thankfully for you, we developed an incredible method to help you get the results. That's where your unique methodology comes in. Now they're going to seek your unique methodology to escape the pain that you just reminded them of, right? And then key number 3, you got to handle all objections as soon as possible. Talk about money, talk about pricing, talk about value, talk about all these things, talk about time, talk about credit, talk about as much as you can to handle all of the objections as soon as possible, so that when you get on the phone with people, even the worst salesperson like myself can close the deal, because they're being handed to me on a silver platter. For those of you guys who play any sports, that's what they call a layup. It's the easiest bucket to score in a game. If you can't make a layup, you have no business being on the court, right? So when you do this, you're stacking you're putting the cards in your favor, right? As people come through this process, by the time they get on the phone with me, they're like, okay, I'm ready. Like, they're just pouring their hearts out to me, and they're just giving me all kinds of information that I don't really even ask for, because they're just ready to make the change. All right. So step 3, hands down, this is where 99% of your conversion and 99% of your sales come from. How do I know this? Because this is where 99% of our sales come from. We get people to book calls and sign up for our high ticket one-on-one coaching program in this phase of the process, before they actually even get to any of the other good stuff, right? So your lead magnet is going to be responsible for this pre-framing that you're taking people through. And then step 4, we have nurturing. So key to nurturing is you got to give before you ask, right? You're giving a lot of value. You're giving a lot of information to people, and you're giving them a solution to the problem that you just made them really aware of, right? And then key number 2 is you got to be relatable and vulnerable, right? This was the last thing that I was when I was trying to be a fitness model, and when I was trying to grow my following. I wasn't very relatable. I wasn't very vulnerable. And as soon as it started becoming more vulnerable and started becoming more relatable, and sharing about my struggles, and sharing about my downfalls, and sharing about the times that were my weakest points, everything just kind of, the business just busts out the seams, because now people are like, wow, I can relate to this guy. He's a real human being. He's a genuine guy, right? And then when they get on the phone with me, they're like, wow, I feel like I already know you. I've been hearing your voice like almost every day, right? And then the third key is you got to have a clear call to action. All right. So when you're seeking to build high ticket, your call to action is for people to get on the phone with you for you to help them one-on-one. That's the main call to actions. You want people to get on the phone with you. You want people to schedule breakthrough sessions with you or strategy sessions or whatever you want to call it. Just don't call it a sales call. Okay. It's like sales one-on-one. Don't call it a sales call. It's a sales call, but don't call it that. So breakthrough transformation session is what they need to schedule with you. A strategy session, a transformation session, whatever it is, just don't call it a sales call for the love of God. Okay. And then step 5, the fulfillment. The key to making the fulfillment is make it Facebook independent. I cannot say this enough. Make it Facebook independent. If your fulfillment is completely dependent on Facebook, you're going to be like those people towards the end of last year when Facebook stopped letting people into Facebook groups. They were freaking out because their lead magnet, their fulfillment, everything was 100% dependent on Facebook. And guess what happened when people sign up and they're not able to get into the Facebook group? They want their money back. They're like, this is a scam. They're already afraid to invest with somebody remotely. And now there's an issue that's not loading or whatever. So you want to make it Facebook independent, everything Facebook independent, so that whether or not people ever join your Facebook group or they ever interact with you on Facebook, or they're coming from a different traffic source, they're still able to go through that entire process in a way that's going to be just as effective with or without it. Right. And then key number 2, it must be super easy for people to implement. It needs to be done in a way that's like super simple. So for your lead magnet, it needs to be just focus on one thing at a time. I focus on giving my lead magnets are focused on giving people more energy and helping them feel better about themselves so that they can associate me with that positive result. So I'll take them through things that they need to do that's going to help improve their energy, help improve how they sleep and different things like that. So identify what that pain point is for your ideal client and then make it super easy to implement step-by-step method that's going to get them some type of result as they work with you. All right. And then key number 3, it goes without saying, but it must deliver some type of result, right? It's got to get them somewhere, right? It's got to get them something that they can tangibly measure and be like, wow, I've made this much progress working with so-and-so. Therefore, so-and-so is the obvious solution, the obvious place for me to get the help that I need, right? And then step number 6, the breakthrough session. 1, you got to build rapport and preamble. So preamble is just you're getting people ready. It's like it's pre-framing. It's just another way of saying pre-framing. You're getting people kind of ready for what you want to discuss with them, right? You got to understand their pains and struggles. And then number 3, you got to understand their goals and missions. And then key number 4, you got to position your unique methodology as a solution. So now you've already taken them through this process. They know this, but you're just reinforcing it because people are forgetful, people are fickle. So you got to remind them of their pains and struggles. You got to remind them of their vision. You got to remind them that your unique methodology is their solution, and then they're going to buy. So, and then key number 5, you got to ask for the sell and handle all the objections. Now, this last step is extremely, extremely important. Making the sale. I've dropped this ball so many times. This has cost me so much money not understanding this. Okay, especially with high ticket. When you're selling super low ticket and it's like $47 packages, $100 pack, okay, this may not be as important, right? But if somebody's giving you $3,500, you better have your shit straight. Like you better have your processes down. You better have it looking good and streamlined, or they're going to get afraid and they're going to get buyer's remorse and feel like, oh, did I just get scammed? Right? And you never want to make somebody do that. So the key to making the sale awesome is when you collected a sale, you automate the onboarding process. Our onboarding process is so streamlined and so efficient that people are like, since implementing it, we have not had any buyer's remorse in over a year. And that is a that is a tall order to say. We've not had any buyer's remorse in over a year because our onboarding process is so streamlined, it's so professional. We're getting people all the things that they need in their hands almost immediately. And I have the back-end system set up to where as soon as we collect the payment information, they get an email, they're being directed to our onboarding page. And then from there, they're being able to create their accounts, different things like that. And then key number 2 is you got to schedule the onboarding consultation while you're on the phone with them. So this is what I do. So we schedule the onboarding consultation, but we put the responsibility for them to onboard themselves, right? So we automate the onboarding process by making the client responsible for onboarding themselves. This is important because we're giving them things to do and they feel like they just got what they paid for. They're getting what they paid for by giving them something to do. Before I used to think, oh, I need to make sure I do everything and get them set up. But while I was doing everything and getting them set up, they're sitting there thinking, I just gave this guy $2,500. I haven't heard from him in the past. I haven't heard from him in a day or two. Is this one of those like scams? And then they freak out and then want to do a chargeback. So by making them do it, now you're getting them to participate in the process. And they're like, and they feel like, okay, I'm getting what I just paid for, right? And then key number 3, get them plugged into your support system ASAP. If you have them working with another coach, if you have them working, whatever it is, you want to get them plugged into your support system ASAP. Again, I like to make my support systems independent of Facebook. So we plug our clients into a 3-way text conversation or into a 3-way WhatsApp conversation so that they can get plugged into the support system and get in contact with the coach that's working with them. And then they also have access to me if they have any specific question or if the coach is struggling to answer a question that I need to address. I'm there to address it and they're plugged in right away. All right. So
that's cool.
Quick recap. We've covered a lot, right? We covered secret number 1, how to create your own niche and become the go-to specialist. And then we cover secret number 2, how to build a unique methodology for getting clients results. It's going to separate you from the competition. And then secret number 3, we understand and we discuss how to utilize systems and automation to turn the methodology into an automated lead magnet. And we went through in depth into the step-by-step process you can go through and really build those things yourself if you want. But after developing all this, I was like, you know what? I wanted to do a little experiment. Now within the experiment, there's a thesis. I had a few questions that I wanted this experiment to answer, right? Question number 1, was it possible to teach people these principles that used to be successful? And then question number 2, will they get similar results as me if I show them how to implement it in their own unique way? And then secret number 3, would I be able to help them get results faster than me, right? So this is kind of how that little experiment left me. And I spent most of last year just teaching people how to do something very similar, right? And it's just been crazy. So people are getting their first paid in full. We have this guy who's like, with the lead generation strategies that perform exactly as expected and producing high quality, low cost leads, right? People are getting their first sales, all different kinds of things. And so having these elements is the true key to having a successful online business that creates time freedom and income freedom. All right. Now I had a few options, but you're probably feeling like this. Beady eyes, mouth wide open, like, okay, this is a lot. What do I need to do? How do I process all this information? And you're probably thinking, okay, here's your first thought. Most people are going to think, okay, here comes a pitch. It's going to cost X amount of dollars because God forbid you actually help people. Right? Or your second thought is you have nothing for sale, but I'm gonna have to book a call, and then you're gonna sell me for an exuberant amount of money, right? And then the third one, you're probably thinking, okay, what's his angle? What's he getting out of this? What's the point of this, right? So here's the truth. Here are my 4 different motivating factors. I want to actually provide you with useful information. And if you're telling me right now all the information I provide you was not useful, you're lying, because I put a lot of time into really building this out. I don't give a damn what you say. This is useful stuff, right? Nobody's going to give this transparent And nobody's going to be this honest and give you an actual step-by-step breakdown of the elements that you need, right? And number two, I've got the long game in mind. I want to give you as much useful information as humanly possible, because there's a lot of people out there that aren't willing to be as transparent and aren't willing to give you the same kind of information until they collect your money, right? And then motive number three, I'm just tired of seeing people that have integrity lose to people that are willing to resort to lying in order to make money, right? That's really kind of what led me to just kind of, you know what, I'm sick of people being dishonest, and I'm sick of people just taking advantage of other people's goodwill. And so I'm like, you know what, this, I need to do this and just put it out there and force people to be honest. And then motive number four is I truly care about people to a fault. I'm willing to spend money to put my message in front of you as a sign of goodwill, even if we never work together. I just want to actually really help. So here's what I'm going to do. Here's my offer. I'm going to give my online launch formula completely for free. I was playing around. I was like, you know what? I could get people to book a call. I could make an offer. I was like, you know what? Screw it. You can have the training for free, the exact step-by-step formula you need to launch your online business. No strings attached. My only request is that you help me spread the message and you leave me a good review on my page. And my goal is I want to force the industry to be more honest, even if it's going to cost me a fortune. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to recoup it some way, but we'll figure that out later. So when you click on the little link that I'm going to put in the description, it's going to take you in the post. You're going to see, it's going to take you to this page. You're going to click on a free preview. And what I've done, you can create your account, and then you're going to get access to everything that I just shared with you. I'm going to give you all the resources and materials you need to put in the step-by-step process that we've discussed, how to set those things up. And then if you want to, you can hook your brother up, help me recoup some of the costs, and we're good to go. So that really does it for our presentation. If you have any questions, now is the time for us to dive into some of the Q&A.
I love it. And there's literally probably about a 20-second delay between that and the Q&A, so I'm sure they're coming in, but there's a lot of wows. I've just noticed a wow. That's incredible. I had no idea you was going to offer that at the end. That's awesome. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it is generous. And for me, it's the same thing, that working with people and being able to actually help people. When I get on the phone with people, it's completely different. Like, it's changed the game for me completely, being able to help people first and giving them true value. And then when I get on the phone with them, I'm like, dude, I love you. You're like the most incredible. The sell becomes so much easier, right? It's a longer game and it's a longer process. But for me, I'm all about, the two things that I value the most. I value, number one, my time, and I value, number two, people. The money's going to come when I use my time efficiently and I treat people with respect and I treat people with kindness and I give people the help that they need. Everything else takes care of itself. Right.
That's awesome. It's so true, man. It's so true. Exactly the same thing I always felt with my kind of business. I always felt that you just give, and then as long as you actually care, I think that's most important. As long as you care, and you just give, and everything else falls into place normally. That's what I've always found anyway. Has anybody got any questions? I know everyone's just saying, at the moment, it's just saying, yeah, that's generous, Iggy, thank you. Like, damn, bro. That's what I just said. 100% thank you. There's some, just thanks for looking at this. I mean, even what you've just done there, that presentation was awesome. I love the fact I want to say the clarity of it all, just like how the non sort of BS approach to it all. There's a lot of things in there you don't normally hear, from other maybe industry experts as well. We don't quite hear it as frankly or the point as that. And a lot of it resonated. I've been on quite a few different courses and seen the back end of other people's courses as well. And the difference between what they put out compared to what's actually in there. I think you've been very open and honest with that, which is awesome. I think absolutely awesome. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I can't see those people just saying ready for the link with smiley faces. So I guess we can drop the link inside there. Hope we got good bandwidth.
Let me get that for you guys. My bad.
Awesome. Yeah, let's just drop that in there. But that's cool. I mean, has anybody got any questions they want to ask? I know you was going to go for the link, go for the course stuff that he's put together. But then we've got any questions you want to ask inside here. Again, people just compliment. It's great presentation. I'm guessing you can see this anyway. But yeah, like great presentation. Yeah, thank you, Iggy. Like really appreciate you. Some awesome stuff there, and that's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, everyone's just dead grateful for that offer. That's so cool. I'm really impressed.
Let me drop this guy in there and then.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, for those of you guys that go through, you will have an opportunity as you go through the formula. You can book a call with me, but I want you to book a call after you've already gone through it, just because those are just going to be the basic fundamentals pieces that you need to have in place before we can really dive into the goods and into some of the things I'd like to talk about.
Awesome. Cool. So, there's a question actually. Paul Stevens. How many hours did you invest in setting up your systems? So I'm guessing that's like what you've invested setting the whole thing up more than running stuff.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, it took me over 6 months to really build everything out. It took me a really long time to kind of have everything set up, but it's been time worth putting in, because I started it, I started to fall into this trap of following what some of these coaches were saying and being like, oh, you got to make the sale first, focus on just making as much sales as possible. And I started to see like how just dishonest it was. It just didn't resonate with who I was. So I was like, you know what? I was willing to Uber. I was willing to do all these different things to make money so that I can invest it back into building out what I needed and actually learning the principles that I needed to learn to be able to do the things that I'm doing now. So here's a link, guys. Just found it.
Cool. I say I was just about to pop it in. I reopened it back up again and put it in, and it started hearing myself speak. So let's pop this in now. Are you doing it? Are you? Oh, cool. We're both in there. I let yours go in.
Oh, sweet.
Awesome. That's so cool, man. We've got a couple of questions. In your high ticket or even the 7-day program, outlined in the link, including your systems you use and their internal structure.
So in the online formula, you're just going through, I'm giving you guys the phase 1 of just kind of how everything's set up. I also do actually give you all the different links that are the softwares that I use to kind of build out my 7-day program. The 7-day program itself is not actually in the online launch formula, because what I'm taking you through is just putting the fundamental pieces in place, because what I teach is I help you create a unique lead magnet based on the information that we gather inside the online launch formula. And then once you have those things together, then it's a matter of taking the templates that I created for my 7-day program, all the funnels, all the automations, how to plug it and connect it to PTD Distinction and get it to run evergreen on autopilot. All those things, even the emails, the pre-framing emails that are responsible for converting a ridiculous amount of people into paid clients. All those things you're going to get along with it once phase 1 has been completed and we can actually develop a unique message for your business. All right. That's awesome. The most important part.
That's awesome. Cool. I'm just looking through his internet. Any other questions that anybody's got want to pop in? I think everyone's just signing up. I bet your inbox is just like blah, 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 at the moment. Yeah. I can imagine it is.
Any question that we have missed? What's pre-framing? I did answer that in the presentation.
Yeah, you answered that. I wrote a couple down as it went through, but it's you answered most of them as it went through anyway. I can't see anything else.
So, I mean, I tried to be as detailed as possible with the presentation just to answer as many questions, beforehand.
No, I think you did definitely. Click on free. Yes, click on the free preview icon, Felix. Just ask us what to click on. Cool. Awesome. I mean, I can't even say thank you enough. Like, great presentation and stuff, and the fact you've offered that at the end to everybody is just awesome. So yeah, I mean, it'd be cool. I mean, if you're interested, it'll be cool to maybe, I don't know, a couple of weeks' time or something like that, maybe jump on again and just see how people, because I'm guessing a lot of people's going to sign up for this. It'd be nice to kind of see how people's gone,
Yeah,
Or maybe
absolutely.
just drop
I'd
some
love
stuff
to do
through
that.
and get some feedback from them and stuff. And that'd be kind of cool. See where we can go next with it all. But no, that's incredible. I appreciate that so much. So much for coming on here and doing that and offer that out. Really grateful for it. And I'm sure everyone here is going to be absolutely grateful. Just quickly as well, you mentioned there about a nice thing to do a bit to go like, review stuff and put posts and things like that. How would you actually like people to review it? So have you got somewhere you want to go? Is the Facebook page?
Yeah,
what
my
ways
Facebook
people
page
can
is
connect with you? What
Fit
ways can
Tech.
people review?
Yeah, Fit Tech Development. If you go there, and just leave a review once you've gone through the information, you've gone through the content, you're like, wow, this is real legit stuff. Just leave a good review on your feedback for the course. And that's just a little preview. There's going to be a lot more stuff that I'm going to be building on the platform, as far as like really creating different lead magnets that people can plug into their business and be able to structure so they can use it to get their message out there for potential clients. And also the reason why I'm doing this, I'm still running my fitness business. So that's why I'm like, okay, I can afford to just give as many people as they want for free, because this isn't my main thing. I still run my fitness business, and I'm going to be running it for a very long time because it's completely hands off and it runs without me. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Cool. Awesome, man.
Yeah, the normal cost for that is going to be $397.
Cool. Seth as well. Incredible, man. Do you have a social platform you prefer for posting content but unaware? So I think you mentioned it earlier. That you tend to get most of your leads from LinkedIn, I'm guessing. But do you have a platform you tend to post on more? How do you build social awareness?
Facebook is the main place that I post all my content. So if you want to post stuff there and tag me in it, that'd be perfect. That'd be awesome.
Cool.
However it is that you want to express your opinion on the stuff, just reach out and let me know.
Awesome. Happy days. Cool. I think that's all the just people are saying it's underpriced already and I haven't been through it. You could have
it
charged
definitely
that
is. I know it is.
Must seem a bit underpriced for their mind.
It definitely is. I know for a fact it is, but but think about it, the psychology of it. So just to be transparent with you, this is only the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Like that stuff is stuff that I know is going to help people in an incredible amount of way, but it's really only phase one. It's like it's just the tip of the iceberg of everything else, but it's the most important step. And once you figure that out and you kind of get that finished, and you want me to help you build out the rest of it, then we can have a deeper discussion. Okay, what's that going to look like? What are the first phases that you need? Do we need to build out your client acquisition system first? Or do we need to build out your client fulfillment system first and then go back and build an acquisition system for that fulfillment system? So, but we can't have any of those kind of discussions until this first phase is done. And that's why I'm giving that away, just because it's going to make everything else that I teach and show people how to do later on that much easier. And it's going to follow a logical progression as people go through it.
Cool. Awesome. Happy days. Awesome. I think that's all the questions and stuff in. Like, again, I'm just going to say, like, I honestly appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you taking the time again to come join us on here. And I appreciate you putting all that together and putting this offer out as well, which is incredible. So thank you very much for that. It's been absolutely awesome. And like I said, I hope you can join us back again in maybe a few weeks' time. We'll see how everyone's getting on. And I'll follow up with people in the group as well to see how people are getting on with the training. It should be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'll send you the information that you need to add it to the university.
Perfect. Awesome. I got that sorted as well. Cool. Well, again, thanks very much, Iggy. Thanks everyone for joining as well. I've had a really good turnout today, which is great. Anyone watching this want to watch the recap, they can watch it back again inside the video section inside the group. And I'll drop this on my blog as well. And Iggy, if you want, I'll send you a copy through so you can use it however you want to use it.
Awesome. That'd be great.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. And thank you very much. Again, Iggy, and thank you very much, everyone. And I'll see you all again inside the group on our next live. I'm not sure who it's with next, but I'll let you all know. And I'll catch you all again soon. So cheers, everybody. And thanks again, Iggy. And I'll speak to everyone soon. Peace, guys. Bye-bye.